The night nothing was what it seemed on the longest night of the year. The eve before the new year begins, when the earth itself seems to hold its breath and hearts grow just a little more tender. Two travelers came down from the sky. One was an angel whose eyes carried the silver of countless earthly nights already lived. The other was young, his wings barely finished growing, his heart still full of questions. They took the shape of two ordinary wanderers in worn coats and set off down a frozen road, leaving footprints in the soft snow like the first lines of a story not yet written. By the time dusk thickened and the snow began falling harder, they reached a tall manor with gilded shutters and every window glowing with light. Behind the door, the sounds of a celebration, laughter, the clink of glasses. The travelers knocked. Eventually the door opened just a crack and a voice tossed out at them. "Sleep in the cellar. Just be quiet and don't touch anything." Down in the damp cellar, among old crates and dust, by the light of a single candle, they laid out their thin traveling blankets. The younger angel sighed. "Is this really how people welcome a new year?" But the older angel said nothing. He walked to the wall, to a crack splitting the bricks apart, and carefully sealed it shut with his own hands, as if he weren't mending stone at all, but somebody's fate. "Why did you do that?" the younger one asked, stunned. "Those people didn't even give us bread." "Things are rarely what they look like," the older angel answered gently. "Tomorrow, they'll understand on their own." The second house. By morning, the angels moved on. The snow kept falling, but softer now, as though even the sky was learning kindness. By evening, they reached a small cottage on the edge of the forest. A light flickered in the window, and a thin ribbon of smoke, thin as hope itself, curled from the chimney. The door was opened by a gray-haired woman in a warm headscarf. At the sight of the travelers, she smiled. "Come in, come in." On the eve of a new year, a guest is as rare and precious as a falling star. She sat the angels down at a modest table and shared with them everything she had. Porridge, a piece of bread with honey. That night, she gave them her own bed and settled by the stove herself. In the morning, the angels woke to quiet weeping. The woman was clutching her scarf to her chest. Her husband stood beside her, head bowed. "What happened?" the younger angel asked. "Our cow," the woman whispered. "She died in the night. She was everything we had. Milk for the children, cheese to sell. What do we do now?" The younger angel turned to the elder, his eyes filling with anger and grief. "Yesterday, rude and greedy people, and you helped them. Today, kind people who gave us their last piece of bread, and you let them lose their cow. Where's the justice in that?" The older angel placed a hand on his shoulder. "Things are rarely what they look like, my child," and he explained. "In that cellar, behind the crack in the wall, I found something hidden, a treasure of gold the owners never even knew was there, but their hearts were already growing heavy with greed. If they had found that gold last night, of all nights, they wouldn't have lost only their kindness. They would have lost each other. So I sealed the crack. Let the treasure wait until mercy is born in their souls again. And here, tonight, death came for the woman of this house. Her hour had arrived. But I asked for something in her place. Take the cow instead. Let her live a little longer. Long enough for her grandchildren to still call her mama." The younger angel fell silent. Tears ran down his cheeks now, not from anger, but from understanding. "So good doesn't always look like good," he said quietly. "And misfortune isn't always misfortune." "Exactly," the older angel nodded. "We only ever see one thread of the pattern. The whole design is hidden behind the curtain of time. And in that very moment, somewhere in that small house, children woke and ran to their mother, wrapping their arms around her. Through her tears, she smiled, because she still had tomorrow, and the day after, and a whole life still ahead of her." What this story is really about, friends, this isn't just a story. It's a reminder. On the eve of a new year, it's especially easy to compare whose lights shine brighter, whose gifts cost more, whose life looks like it's turned out better. But we never see the parts that stay invisible. The pain behind someone else's closed door, the hope hidden inside a crack in a wall, the sacrifices made quietly, without an audience. Don't be quick to judge. Don't rush to envy. Don't dim someone else's happiness just because it looks too bright from the outside, because things are rarely what they look like. A true miracle only begins the moment we learn to see with our hearts instead of our eyes. Wishing you a new year filled not only with luck, but with the wisdom to find light even on the darkest nights. If this story moved you, if it made you pause and consider that not everything in life is visible right away, Subscribe and leave a like. Believe that kindness matters, even when nobody's watching it happen. And tell us in the comments, what's one thing in your own life you'd like to understand more deeply? Take care of yourselves. And remember, even when everything feels unfair, things are rarely what they seem.